What's going on, guys? It's Fragger here again, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys another episode of Season 2 of Fragger Builds. Now, some of you guys may be a little disappointed that it is not a hardcore episode, but honestly, I'm a little late to recording this, so I wouldn't have had enough time to record a hardcore episode anyway. But I have not done a whole lot of off-camera work in this world. I got a little more quartz here, but this is still not going to be enough. And I also got a Fortune 3 pickaxe to replace our Fortune 2 pickaxe, and I did get that Looting 3 sword. So my next enchantment is a Protection 4 chestplate, which is why I haven't used my 30 levels yet, and I just need 2 more diamonds to get a chestplate, so I need to get those soon. Also, last time I got a mending villager and these mending books here, and I didn't really mention that, and I probably should have. And I also got this pet axolotl, so if you guys have any ideas on what I should do with this guy, then let me know. I also never really addressed what this chest was here, and you guys probably saw me put a sugarcane farm up here, and really all that's left of it is this little trough of water right here. So all this chest is here is a sugarcane farm that is completely automated back there. So I can get a bunch of sugarcane here and turn it into paper to trade with that mending villager and get more mending books. But there is another thing that I've been doing off camera, which is the main reason why I am a little bit late to recording this. And that is right, I have started making my own texture pack here. And as you can see here, the Savannah is a little bit brighter green than it was previously. And I made that change because I don't really like the way that the default Savannahs look. It just looks too dead and dingy for me. So I did change the color of the grass here and the leaves as well. And as you can see with the leaves, they are bushy leaves. So that is something that I'm adding to the texture pack. And as you can see by the birch trees over there, I'm not quite finished adding in all of the bushy leaves yet. So this texture pack is far from finished right now, and there are a few other features that I am adding to it as well. And you can't really see it very well right now, but I am adding parallax occlusion, which basically what it does is it casts shadows and highlights onto a flat texture to make it look more dimensional and dynamic. But to show off my texture pack a little bit more, I'm going to go into the build world from last time. So we are here in the build world, and you can kind of see the parallax occlusion a little bit better on these blocks now. And if we go in here, you can see it really well here, where these blocks do not have it on them because there's no light being cast on them, but these blocks do have the parallax occlusion. So these ones look a little more flat, while these ones look like they have a little more dimension because of those little shadows. So this type of parallax occlusion, I believe, is only possible with the Suits Renewed shaders. I know the BSL shaders has its own type of parallax occlusion, but it is a different type from this one. So once this texture pack goes public and you want the parallax occlusion, you will need to use the Suits Renewed shaders. But these are the cut copper blocks that I textured, and I'm very happy with how they turned out. And you can kind of see the shininess on them done through the parallax occlusion. And I really like how it starts off with this regular copper block being really shiny, and then by the time it gets to the oxidized copper, it's really matte. And then these trapdoors down here are just the crimson and warped trapdoor, so I just textured those to look like copper. And the reason why I did that is because I'm using them in this house right here. And these are all just the blocks that I've retextured so far, and when it comes to terracotta, I've only gotten to the magenta terracotta. So the rest of these I still have to do. But that is just how far I've gotten on this texture pack so far, and I will update you guys in the future as I progress through this. So definitely let me know your feedback down in the comment section below on this texture pack. And obviously there's a lot of other textures that I want to get to, but I just haven't yet. And I do want to add some texture variation to the cobblestone and the sandstone, so it's not just the same texture over and over and over again. But anyway, that is it for the texture pack right now. Like I said, I will update you in the future as I progress through it, and I'll probably be using it in all of the Fragger Builds videos going forward. But anyway, let's get back into the Fragger Builds world. Alright, so since I didn't really do a whole lot of work off camera, that means that I'm going to have to go out and collect resources now. So I'll probably go out and collect some resources like sand and other things, and then I will come back to you guys once I'm done with that so that we can start building up this city. Alright guys, so I'm back from collecting some resources, and as you can see I got a ton of sandstone for building up these houses. I also got quite a bit of copper, and I'm hoping that this is going to be enough to build up at least one house. I'm not entirely sure if this will be enough, but we'll see about that. If I need more, then I can always go get some more. I also turned all of the quartz I had into quartz pillars, and this should definitely be enough for at least one house. I'll probably need to go back into the nether to get some more quartz later for building up more houses, but again, this should probably be enough for one. I also changed up the furnace array here to have a bunch of blast furnaces and a smoker, so that I can cook all of the raw iron and copper quickly, and also cook my meat quickly. I also made some changes to the texture pack. As you might be able to see, I added some texture variation to the cobblestone so that it's not the same texture over and over and over again. And you're probably not going to be able to see this one very well, but I also added some texture variation to the sand texture. And I also added a bushy leaf texture to the birch leaves because I was getting really annoyed with that purple and black texture you get when you don't have a texture for anything. So I fixed that. Now the only leaves I have to add the bushy texture to are jungle leaves, spruce leaves, and the new azalea leaves. And you can't really see it right now, but I also added the parallax occlusion to some of the ore textures. But again, there aren't really any ores around here to see that with, so you're probably not going to be able to see that one right now. But anyway, those are really all the changes that I made to the texture pack since last time. So now I think I'm going to get started on building up these houses here. Alright, so I think I'm going to start off with this one, and I'm going to make it out of sandstone because I do not have any terracotta right now, and the closest mesa biome is a 750 block journey in the nether, so I'm going to have to set up that nether portal off camera. I'm not exactly sure if I'll get to that today, but it should be set up by the start of the next episode. But anyway, for this house, because the terrain kind of starts off at a lower level here and then moves up to a higher level here, I think I am going to have this part be a little bit lower than this part, because I want to preserve some of this terrain variation here, and I also want to do that with my other houses like this one, but I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that yet, so I'll probably just start building up this house and then get back to you guys once I'm partway finished. Alright, so I got the foundation laid out for this first house, and I made some changes to the original plan. Mainly up here where I have this part of the house here extended one block this way, and I cut out this part of the house right here. Other than that though, it is the same layout as before. And I think I'm going to add a staircase right here to get up to the upper part. And then I'll add some sort of railing up here, probably birch trapdoors, to match with the rest of the house. Which I also need to get some birch wood for those birch trapdoors. I haven't got any of that yet. Now the one part of this house that I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do is that part right there, because it overhangs a little bit over this ledge, and I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that. I also need to take out that lava there so I don't accidentally fall into it and lose everything. But anyway, that is as far as I've gotten, so I'll build up the rest of this house and then I'll meet you guys once that is done. And just like that, it is finished. Or at least mostly. I did end up running out of copper, so I will need to get some more to finish this house off. And I do want to fix this window here, and I'll probably just end up getting rid of it altogether. And I also need to figure that out, so if you have any suggestions on how to fix that overhanging bit, then let me know, because I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with this. But anyway, other than that, this house is finished, and I'm actually very happy with it. I really like this small little entranceway here, and it feels nice and cozy, and then that goes up into this upper room here, which will probably be like a bedroom or something like that. I really like all of the natural light coming in through these windows, and I just can't stop looking at it. I wasn't completely sure about this place while I was building it. There were some parts of it that I was a little hesitant about, but in the end, I'm actually very happy with how it turned out. And I also should probably get rid of that part of the pillar. It kind of looks weird and doesn't really fit in. But anyway, that is pretty much it for this house. I did leave the copper up there unwaxed, so it will oxidize, and I do want it to be fully oxidized in the end, because I think that looks a lot better. And I also need to get the warped trapdoors to put on those pillars right beneath the stairs, just to add a little touch of detail. And I will add some leaves to this house as well to again add some detail. And I also want to put a garden here because I think that would look really good. But anyway, that is all stuff that I'll probably do off camera. And I also want to build up this house, but I honestly kind of want to build it up with terracotta, which means I'm gonna have to set up that nether portal, and I'm not looking forward to that at all. So honestly, I may actually just plan out another house and build that one out of sandstone, but I am very short on copper, so I probably should do it with terracotta. Part of me honestly just wants to go in creative to set up that nether portal, but that's cheating, and I kind of want to keep this series 100% survival. But anyway, I have a lot of off-camera work to do to finish up this house and build up this one, so I'm going to get going on that, and I will meet you guys once that is finished. Alright, so I'm back from doing some building here, and as you can see, I did quite a bit of building. So this place probably looks completely different from the last time you guys saw it, and since then I've built up these two houses and done the roadways, and also added 2 gardens here for these 2 houses. And the roadway right now is just cobblestone, but I will be adding some texture variation to it later on, so don't worry, it is not going to look like this. Now for some reason, these roofs are not oxidizing very quickly, so they're still just regular copper. Some of the blocks have turned to exposed copper though, so it is going through the oxidization process, as you can see, but it has not gotten very far for some reason. But if you look at these stair blocks here, I placed these relatively recently, especially since placing down this roof, and they're already fully oxidized. So I'm not quite sure what is going on there, but for some reason the roof is taking forever to oxidize. But anyway, this is the house that we built up before I left, and I haven't done anything to it yet. I do need to do the interior still, and I'll probably do that off camera between episodes. And I'm really not looking forward to doing the interior because I'm really bad at doing them, and I never really do them. But I will make sure to do the interiors this time. But anyway, for this house that I built up off camera, there are 2 parts to it. So there is this lower part here that I am probably going to turn into a shop. And I'm thinking of making it a woodworker's shop, so like carvings and other knickknacks. But coming up to this second part of the house here, this is where the actual living quarters will be, and I do need to work on this pathway here. But this is the main entranceway here. It is nice and big and spacious, and if you come across this little bridge here, there is a pathway underneath that takes you out right there, and then right through here is where the bedroom will be. Now again, like that first house we made, I have not done the interior yet, and I haven't done the interiors on any of these houses, so I will get to doing those off camera probably between episodes. And then if we come over here to this last house, this is the main entranceway here, and it is nice and cozy just like that one. And then if you come up these stairs here, just like that one again, there will be a bedroom up here, and I still again need to do that. But anyway, that's as far as I'm going to get this time, and I do want to talk about my plans for the rest of this city because this is obviously a very small area for a city that I want to be rather large. So if we come up over here, there is a whole nother part to this shattered savanna over here on this side of the hill, and I think this is where I'm going to expand the rest of the city to, just in this area. And then on top of this hill that overlooks both this side of the city and the side of the city that we are working on right now, I'm probably going to put some sort of palace up here. So I'm really excited for building up this palace, and I may actually start that next time, or at least planning it out. I'm not entirely sure when I'm going to get to building this place, but I am going to make it out of sandstone and quartz, which means I'm going to have a lot of copper. And just these two houses right here used up so much copper. Each one of them takes about 2 stacks of copper blocks, and that's going to be a lot of mining for this giant palace. Because I want this palace to take up this entire hill area, including that side over there. But anyway, that is pretty much all of my plans for this city, and that is going to be it for this episode. And a quick little update on the texture pack before I send you guys off. I did add the bushy leaves to all of the leaf textures, including the azalea leaves, and I've added parallax occlusion to even more of the blocks. And my plan for the parallax occlusion is to add it to all of the blocks in the game, and I'm probably not going to add it to any of these foliage blocks, including the leaves and these grass blocks and all of the flowers. And honestly, I don't know if you can add it to the grass blocks and the flowers and stuff. But I have added parallax occlusion to the leaves, and honestly, it just doesn't really look that good, so I'm probably going to avoid adding it to those. But other than that, I am planning on adding them to all of the blocks in the game. And as far as a full release for this texture pack, I have absolutely no idea when that is going to be. I'm thinking about putting a preview version of the texture pack on my Patreon if you guys are interested in that. So if I do a preview version, it may be available at the time this video comes out. I'm not entirely sure, but it will not have parallax occlusion for all of the blocks, and it's basically just going to be as far as I've gotten so far in the texture pack. Oh, and one more thing for this area pertaining to this overhanging bit. I think I may add a gradual slope to this cliffside going down towards the plains biome over there, which means that this is basically just going to be turned into a big mountain. And I think that might be a little bit better since the shattered savanna doesn't really look super realistic, and I think I may want to try and make this area look a little more realistic. So that will be a really big project, and I'm definitely not going to finish that in one episode, and I may not actually do that one on camera. So let me know your opinions on that, and also the texture pack and this area in general. But anyway, that is going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, then make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. And again, if you have any suggestions or feedback on this area or the texture pack, then make sure to leave those down in the comment section below. And if you guys want to interact with me or my community outside of YouTube, then make sure to join my Discord server link down in the description. But anyway, that's all I have time for today, so as always, don't forget to keep building.